How's it going, everyone? It's your man, Lost Disciple, the voice box of the underground of YouTube. And today I wanted to chit chat a little bit about gaming. Now, what, what in particular about gaming did I want to talk about? Well, gaming as a whole. Realistically, where we stand at in the video game industry, realistically. Like, we're at a point right now where we're almost losing ownership of our games in terms of like the online services, digital media being the king over physical, and overall, realistically, pushing into a new digital era, all digital era version of gaming. You know, the old brick and mortar style of doing things is kind of going out of the door. But realistically, that those are the standards that these companies are trying to push on us. But what does not each individual consumer, what does the generalization of what do we want realistically? I it makes me almost ponder, right? I feel like, you know, we 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 hit the point of no return when it comes to getting back what we once lost. What do I mean? I feel like realistically, if you ask me, the golden era of the gaming was realistically when it came to like games really like being good in terms of like their story and like the good experience of classic gaming would be like the GameCube, PS2, Xbox era. Only because like online gaming was a thing, but it wasn't super big, but it was, it was still a little bit more tight knit to the people that did it. Like I had an Xbox and PS2. I never played any online game on it before. So like it was an option, but it wasn't like still a thing. You still have local co-op. You still had all those options at your disposal. But then I would say like the Xbox 360 and PS3 era was also really good too, because that's when online gaming was really like at its thing, and games kind of started experimenting with the things that we have now. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't, but it was really really good. But it wasn't really. It was almost perfect realistically, but not too perfect. The golden era is still that era I said, but like I feel like right there gaming was at like it's perfect. Like if they wouldn't have just left it like that, even like in terms of the graphics, the fucking loot boxes, even supply drops, all that shit. If they would have just kind of left it at like that type of style, I feel like everything would have been okay. But then we get to the Xbox One, era, basically, because I consider the newer consoles basically just little upgrades of the last one. So once we got to that era, things kind of shifted from being more about the individual gamers versus and more on towards how much money they can make and what they can do to make more money. And I mean, I'm not surprised. That's kind of how industries and companies work. But at the same time, at the expense of the gamers is quite crazy. I mean, we have systems in place that is basically like gambling for kids. Like, well, I don't think a lot of places do. I don't think a lot of games have supply drops and loot boxes like that anymore. But there's other ways around it. I mean, all these microtransactions and shit like that, it's just ridiculous. And I realistically, it can only get more crazier from that, probably for the worst. But one thing that definitely intrigues me a lot, not just that along with this is VR gaming. All right, now like, what do I mean? When I was growing up, I remember because I grew up around like the Xbox 360. That was kind of like I guess like where I was 12, 10 around that time. So I remember growing up pulling all-nighters with my buddies, playing Xbox Live all night, joking around Xbox Live party chats, playing fucking Call of Duty all night, or even just playing the dashboard where we just sit in the menu screen and just talk, cut the shit. And those are fond memories for me as a child growing up. Like I said, just having the time of my life with my fucking buddies late at night, especially on weekends, pulling all-nighters, literally like it was just the best. GTA Heist, Call of Duty. Can't even go into detail the countless nights, all right? But I'm pretty sure a lot of you can relate. And one thing that makes me think is like, I know VR gaming isn't as big yet. Like it's there, but it's not like everybody does it. It's not like the latest fad. But like, there's still people out there that do it today, like that will do all-nighters in VR. Like, that to me is fucking insane. To think that, like, future generations, that's gonna be their version of, like, gaming all night with their buddies, is, like, hopping in VR and staying in it for all night. And, like, to me, that does not sound good. Not even, like, from, like, a brain health standpoint, but from, like, a moral standpoint almost. Not like moral where that's morally wrong, but it's like that's not like it's almost like zombies. Cause like and to say that's not gonna happen is bullshit. Cause there's people that do it now, and if you're a gamer or if you had like you can relate to staying up all night playing the game. So to say that that won't happen with kids other than or even adults with VR is bullshit. Because I don't know if you've never played VR, but like once you get past the initial motion sickness, you're basically good for as long as the shit dies. Realistically, like I haven't played my Oculus in a while because of work and like setting it up and like it's kind of uncomfortable without the Elite head strap. But like when I get into it, dude, I get into it. Like Pavlov VR is fucking crazy. Like that game alone, like is nuts. Like the fact, like the physics of actually picking up the guns and like reloading it, that shit is ridiculous. Then like Skyrim VR, dude. If I, oh my gosh, if I had full comfortability with that VR headset, that's one of the reasons why I don't use it is because I know I would be fucking living in Skyrim VR. Like that shit is so fucking fun. So like it's very dangerous. It is, and I can imagine when it gets better, right? It's ridiculous. So it's almost to the point where it's like, wow, that is gonna be the fucking future right there. Everybody's gonna be wearing fucking headsets all night playing with their friends in fucking VR chat or Pavlov or fucking Minecraft VR. Like that's gonna be some insane shit to see in the future. And like maybe it sounds dystopian now, and maybe it'll like become normal in the future, but like the thought of that is just like walking. Imagine like having a kid, right? And like you go and you get off of work, your son or your daughter or whatever, they got home from school earlier than you, so you go in to go see them and they're just sitting in their room with the fucking headset on all day, like just playing. Like before it's kind of different because like, even though sitting in your room all day was bad too, but at least like they're aware, they're not aware because like think like the headphones you wear sometimes drown you out, so you're not sometimes 100% aware of your surroundings, but you could still kind of relate to living in reality, if that makes sense. Like you're still grounded to your house, but like like in VR it's different and it's pretty immersive. So it's just a thought. It's just some food for thought. I don't want to get too much into it because like I don't want to sit here and like ramble on about some bullshit. It's just a thought that I had after recording the previous video that I was like, you know what, this is pretty interesting. Like I wonder, just makes me think about the future of gaming. Is it gonna be good? Because imagine like with fucking microtransactions in VR and like that's when things like fucking what's that shit called, that thing that happened with the crypto shit, the those fucking monkey things. What the hell were they? Um, damn, am I really gonna sit here and do that? Fuck, you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the name right now. But those things you can own in the crypto world, like the monkeys, the pictures and shit like that. That stuff. So that's when that shit's gonna be big, because then you can actually quote unquote own digital things in VR. We'll just see. You can already see the blueprint. Let's see the game plan in motion. I gotta go back to work. Like I said, I am still sitting in my car. I'm actually not recording this at home. So if the audio does sound different, at least you know. I was just at the beginning of the video. And yeah, my name is Lost Disciple, the voice box of the undergrad of YouTube. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.